In China right now, you can buy one washing machine that runs three completely separate loads at the same time, then dries them, sanitizes them with steam, and even measures its own detergent, and it costs less than $1,000. The machine in most American homes can handle just one load at a time. Xiaomi has effectively taken the washer, dryer, and three separate laundry cycles and packed them into one machine. By the end of this, the one drum washer in your house might start looking surprisingly outdated. That machine is real, and it's made by Xiaomi. It's called the Mijia 3-Zone Washing Machine Pro, and the name gives away the trick. Instead of one big drum, it has three. One large drum in the middle for your regular clothes and bedding, and two smaller drums stacked above it for the things you never want mixed in, like underwear, socks, and baby clothes. Each drum has its own water line, so nothing crosses over. You can run a hot sanitizing cycle up top while a delicate cold wash spins below at the same time in the same box. If you've ever thrown gym clothes, kitchen towels, and a toddler's onesies into one drum and just hoped for the best, this is the problem it's built to solve. Underwear washed right next to the shoes you wore outside, baby clothes tumbling with the bathroom rag. The two top drums keep all of that apart on their own water, their own soap, their own spin, so you stop rewashing things just because they touch the wrong item. Then it dries. The main drum handles up to 12 kilograms of washing and 9 kilograms of drying, so the clothes never have to leave the machine. It heats water to 95 degrees Celsius and adds steam, and Xiaomi says the hottest modes kill 99% of bacteria and dust mites. That last number is a lab figure from the company under ideal conditions, so normal laundry won't always hit that mark. It doses its own detergent from 4 separate drawers, it can run a wash in as little as 12 minutes, and you control the whole thing from your phone. Wash, dry, sanitize, and measure. 4 jobs that used to need a washer, a dryer, a separate sanitizing run, and your own 2 hands, all folded into one unit that sells for about $920. And Xiaomi didn't stop at the drums. It added a system it calls super electrolysis, meant to lift stains and even whiten fabric in cold water, so you're not forced to run everything hot to get it clean. The motor is a direct drive inverter with a 10-year warranty. The machine carries China's top energy rating, and if it breaks in the first year, Xiaomi says it'll simply hand you a new one. It even takes software updates over the air, the same way your phone does, so the washer you buy this year can get smarter next year without you lifting a finger. It links into Xiaomi's smart home system too, so you can start a load with your voice from clear across the house. This didn't appear overnight either. Xiaomi shipped a 2-drum version first, watched how people actually used it, then split it into 3. On the bigger model, it also grew the little drums, from under half a kilogram each to a full kilogram, enough for a real day's worth of underwear and socks. Each drum rides on its own suspension, so 3 loads can spin at once without the whole machine walking across the floor. And if $20 sounds steep, the smaller 10-kilogram model starts at around $570. Now picture the laundry setup in a typical American home. 1 washer, 1 dryer, side by side or stacked. Think about the ritual that single drum forces on you. You sort everything into piles by color and fabric. You run the first pile, you come back, you move it to the dryer, you start the second pile. A single evening of laundry can eat 4 or 5 hours of start and wait. Not because the machine is slow, but because it can only face 1 pile at a time. If you've also got a white sanitizing load and a basket of delicates, those are 2 more runs stacked onto the night. So your whole evening ends up built around the machine and its single drum. The machine itself hasn't really changed in decades. It got bigger, it got a touchscreen, it got a little quieter. But the basic idea, 1 drum handling 1 load at a time, is the same one your parents used. Whirlpool is the biggest appliance maker in the world, pulling in around $20 billion every year, and its washers still run on that 1 drum design. So do the other big names on American showroom floors, Maytag, LG, and Samsung. It works, and people are used to it, and that's exactly why nobody in the West rushed to tear it apart. Splitting 1 drum into 3 independent zones is hard to engineer and easy to wave off as a gimmick, so the established brands mostly left it alone. Before this turns into a story about Chinese engineers inventing something out of thin air, here's the honest part. The multi-drum washer is not new, and it wasn't Xiaomi's idea. Hisense showed off the world's first triple-drum washing machine back in 2016 on a stage in Berlin. Haier has built split drum machines, and so has Little Swan. What's actually new in 2025 isn't the 3 drums, it's that the full package finally got good enough and cheap enough for a normal family to want it, with the drying, the app, and the price all landing together. And there's a catch worth saying out loud. You can't walk into a store in the United States or Europe and buy this thing today. Xiaomi hasn't brought its laundry machines to the West at all, so for now this is a China-only product. What you're watching is a preview of what shows up in your country a few years from now, not something on the shelf this weekend. If you're getting something out of this, take a second to subscribe, because I dig into one of these China versus your kitchen stories every week. So the machine is real and people are buying it. But that opens up a bigger question. Who actually owns the appliance industry this is supposedly disrupting? Here's where it gets uncomfortable. That GE badge on so many American refrigerators and washers, the one that feels about as homegrown as it gets, hasn't belonged to an American company since 2016. General Electric sold its entire appliance business that year to Haier, a company based in Qingdao, China, for $5.6 billion. GE still builds plenty of those machines in Kentucky, and it licenses the name, but the owner cashing the checks is Chinese. And Haier is not some small player. It's the single largest home appliance maker on the planet by volume. And GE isn't the only trophy on the shelf. That same Haier also owns Fisher & Paykel, the premium brand out of New Zealand, and Candy, the old Italian name your grandparents might have owned. 3 appliance labels that shoppers think of as American, as Kiwi, and as European, all quietly reporting to the same Chinese owner. So while shoppers in the States argue over which American washer to buy, a big share of that money runs back to the same country that's now redrawing what a washer even is. China is already the biggest washing machine market in the world, worth around $18 billion a year. That means these 3 drum experiments get tested on a massive home audience before anyone else even sees them. And when one of them works, it scales fast. There's a bigger idea buried in that. In China, a washing machine is starting to behave like a phone, something that ships with an app, takes updates, and gets replaced by a better model every year or 2. The Western brands mostly sell you the box and then walk away, while these get sold as devices that keep changing long after they land in your house. That's the part that's easy to miss. The story was never really about a clever machine with a couple of extra drums. It's about who gets to decide what the next normal looks like. For 100 years, that got settled in places like Louisville and Benton Harbor. Now a machine designed in China washes 4 ways at once, dries without moving a single thread, and sells for less than one mid-range Western washer, while the most trusted American names in the aisle quietly answer to Qingdao. The 1-drum washer humming in your laundry room still works fine. It just stopped being the future the moment someone decided that 1 drum was one too few.